Here we are. We found it.
We found the entrance.
Woo, what a walk. So here we are right here. Here we are. The Manila American Cemetery and Memorial. Yeah, right there. Let me get that in frame good. Right there, Manila American Cemetery and Memorial. These are the grounds. It's got a nice little circle out here in the front to miss these buildings.
You can tell that they're really taking care of it.
Super taken care of. What beautiful grounds. So I'm here and Mel's here to pay our respects. To pay our respects for the people in the past that's made that ultimate sacrifice. Not only
the soldier that sacrificed and fight our country. I salute you.
Wow, thank you, babe. So our people, Filipinos and the Americans, fought hand in hand, side by side, through a very gruesome war. And both sides had huge casualties. And it's another reason I'm kind of bonded with the Philippines, you know. You don't find that in a whole lot of other places in the world, you know. Of course, our allies. But down here in Asia, this is a rare thing, and you ain't gonna find it much in any South American countries or other places in the world. I appreciate this cemetery. I appreciate these people, and I look forward to going in here and looking around. So let's move on and check it out. So here we are. We're inside. We had to show our ID, or just my ID, and they wrote down that I'm an American. I asked if I was a veteran. I told them no, that my brother was. And here we are. We're inside. This is the very front line coming in. They had a lot of rules, very particular about getting on this grass. They want you to stay off the grass. Man, we're gonna get in here and explore. Let me get Mel here in this shot. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Still super well taken care of. Yeah, so she's she's been excited to see these things. She loves knowing the history of the wars and things that's happened. Man, she's probably a bigger buff on it than I am. Yep. So we'll just do a little bit of video in here, and I just want to show as much respect as I can, and to any families that could possibly ever see this and have a lost, fallen family member that may have been put to rest here or memorialized here. I just want to tell you, I appreciate what they did. I appreciate their sacrifice, and I'm sorry for your loss. So I'm shooting this in a high enough frame rate that you should be able to pause and read any of this. Those you can't, maybe I'll read a little bit of the highlights of it here. It says, this is the American Battle Monuments Commission, the Manila American Cemetery and Memorial. The Manila American Cemetery, the largest of 24 cemeteries built and administered by the American Battle Monuments Commission, both in area and number of graves. 16,636 military dead of the United States of America from World War II rest here, alongside 570 Philippine nationals who were serving with the U.S. forces in the Southwest Pacific. Most of those buried here lost their lives in the epic defense of the Philippines and the East Indies in 1941 and 1942, or in the long but victorious return of the American forces through the vast island chain. Additionally, the names of 32,520 Americans and 3,762 Philippine nationals whose remains were never recovered or not identified by are inscribed on the walls of the missing. A bronze rosette stone, a bronze rosette marks the names of those who were subsequently found. 3,660 headstones mark the graves of the 3,744 unknowns. The construction and care of this 152-acre cemetery and memorial are the responsibility of the American Battle Monuments Commission. I'm going to move on forward here. It says after World War I, the American Battle Monuments Commission erected a memorial chapel in each of the 8 American military cemeteries in Europe, as well as 11 battlefield monuments. At the end of World War II, 14 additional military cemeteries were established overseas. Each contains a memorial with a record and permanent graphic form of the achievements of the U.S. Armed Forces in that region. The graves in these World War I and II cemeteries number approximately 39% of those originally buried. The remains of over 61% were returned home at the request of next of kin. A white marble headstone marks each grave, a Star of David for those Jewish faith, a Latin cross for all others. So here we come up to the first markers. Mel, she's enjoying seeing this. I tell you, I have a unique wife. Today is Melinda's birthday. Mel, happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday to me.
And what girl would you know in the world that on her birthday is happy to come see things like this? She's not dark, she just appreciates, right?
Yeah, I love
She
this kind of stuff. I love, even when I was there, I love always US military, all in kind of soldiers.
Yeah. Her grandmother spent a lot of times talking to her. And how old does she live to be?
96.
Yeah, she lived to be 96 years old. And her grandmother lived through the war. She was right there around the Japanese.
Yeah, the Japanese. And my grandmother told the story with me that also the American talked to her, and give some shoes. Yeah.
The Americans gave your grandma shoes.
Yes, shoes.
So Melinda's family, they had direct contact. Her grandmother told her the stories of the Japanese and the brutalities that went on during that time. And her grandmother also told her of the kind-heartedness of the Americans that she encountered. Melinda's told me these stories. And where Melinda's from, right there in Tigbawan, is also a historic place of World War II, because that is where the first ambush took place in that region of driving the Japanese out. That was done by the Philippine guerrilla soldiers that formed a unit and supported ahead of MacArthur's troops coming back in, cleared the way to where they could make a landing. And they made a landing right there on the beaches in Tigbawan, and started driving the Japanese back north for final battles that took place right up here in Manila. And there's markers and celebrations that still go on in the town of Tigbawan till this day. Yeah, it's such a beautiful, well-kept grass right here. Look at that. I mean, they really put some effort into it here.
I like it. You know, the same uniform cross.
Yeah.
I like it. Wow, there's another one over there.
Very beautiful place. You know, one of the reasons I want to share this, so many of you either don't know about it or will never have an opportunity in your life to come here. Yeah, so this is what's nice to share this. Look at these beautiful trees. I just love the way they are. Look at these beautiful grounds. So I want to share this with you guys so you have a chance to know and understand. When I'm here in the Philippines, I'm not just in some far foreign land. There's a piece of America still here. a huge piece of America still here. And these are kind of like, you know, our people. Whether you understand it or not, this isn't like going to China or Indonesia or Malaysia. There is a history here with us. So I love showing all of this, where any of you that can never ever make it here or don't know anything about it, you can learn and know. Not allowed to walk on the grass, but I'm telling you, this tree is 8 foot across on the bottom. No joke, 8 foot from side to side. Look at these limbs, big acacia tree. Look at this, just massive. How beautiful. I'm amazed at how big the bottom of that tree is. So this memorial, it's built at McKinley Hill, and as it is, it's a hill, and I don't know what you can tell, but that's all mountains right across back there. We're up in a high point. You can see some of the lower part of the city right over in there. Very beautiful. So many names here, including from our beloved Texas. From any Americans, it don't matter where they're from. I'm a Texan, I'm gonna point out Texas, Texas, Texas. They're all in here, but from everywhere though. It's Texas. I mean, if you wanna see the connection, you see Philippines, Texas, Kansas, Georgia, California, Texas, Philippines, New York, on and on, New Mexico, Michigan. But you see, we all fell together. We fell together. They fought together, died together, and the campaigns were victorious together. So I want to show here, this one's in gold.
I think it's very special.
So I want to tell here, there's one, you see it's got a denote there too, and it's in gold across here. Because this person has the Medal of Honor, is what it's telling right there. That in gold is a Medal of Honor. So I don't know the story. Maybe I'll try to look it up here on my phone later on. If I learn anything, I'll share it with you. But sir, whatever you did, it must have been outstanding. So many names. Lots of Filipinos there, probably because the family name. Yeah, it's probably because the family name was a common Filipino name, so it put a lot of Filipinos together right there. You see that line right there explains a lot of the way that I feel about this country here. You see these? You see these states? You see that? Kentucky, Philippines, New York. Maybe you all forget that Philippines was once part of us. There's always a good chance that that gentleman right there, Peter Dennis, Sergeant in the Bomb Squadron, is from Virginia. There's always a good chance that that was a family member. I don't know that it was. Just saying good chance because we do have a lot of family. Our roots are from the Virginias and the Carolinas. So Melinda's seen these two high towers here, Nathaniel L. Jr. and Verdell L. Hightower, and her first thing, but they're not from Texas. And I said, baby, it don't matter. It could still possibly be family members, and I'll explain why. And I don't know they are again, but on that Hightower family side as well, our origins in the U.S. start on the East Coast, like a lot of people's do. We were some of the original settlers of the U.S., all the way back to the original colonies underneath the British government. And we had a family member that worked for the British government that was a land surveyor for the British government. But later, as things progressed there and all, he shifted sides to the colonist side. And then they end up moving on across on down into, I say across down into Georgia. One of the family members later on down the genealogy won a land lottery in Georgia. And so see, this Nathaniel is from Georgia. We have a lot of roots of family there in Georgia. Tobacco farming, and it's like say won a land lottery thing back at the time. And then we also have here in Oklahoma, one of my great grandfathers, him and his brothers came across from the Virginias and Georgia and Florida and Alabama, and came across into Texas, and one of the brothers went up into Oklahoma, a brother went up into Arkansas as well, and we have family roots there as well. So I'm not for sure, I'm not saying this is family member by any means. I'm saying there's a very high likelihood that these are both two bloodline descendants of mine. You know, this is some of my ancestors are kinfolk, you know, a distant cousin, a distant relative. Very good chance, especially the Georgia and Oklahoma makes complete sense. So we've been in here walking for a long while. We've already probably got a couple hours in of walking. It's an amazing place. Did we cover every bit of it? No, we did not. But we definitely went over some good parts of it. And I just want to say we have the utmost respect for every name, for everything this place represents. I'll take my glasses off of that, show you my eyes. I thank you all, every person that has somebody in here. Thank you for your family sacrifice. All of you that are laying here at rest spiritually, thank you for your sacrifice. Mel thanks you too.
Yeah, I'm so really honored to come and visit at this area, you know. And we love to walk and look more, but
yeah, we would. We're tired. It's hot. We're not in an automobile or on a golf cart. We're on foot, and we made a lot of walking journey to get here. We've probably already got 5 miles of walking in on us today, and we're about to do more to go back to where we need to go. But we enjoy it. It's good exercise.
yeah, that's a good
But
thing
we're going to go
enjoy.
ahead and close out our visit here. And with that, I just want everyone to take time and pause and remember our nation, remember why we fight, and God bless to everyone. I want to tell you also, this is not the only war cemetery in the Philippines. There are others here as well, including in Leyte, and any of my fellow Americans that are here and visit this country, I encourage you, if you're in those areas, or even if it's a little bit out of your way, come give respect, come see this, come remember what it's all about. And also, and I'm delayed doing it myself. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very delayed doing it myself. I've been to other monuments and all, though. I have spent time at some other places that more memorialize the efforts of the war here in this country. But I'm just encouraging any of you, not only Americans, anybody from anywhere, come to these places, come give respect to the lives that was lost, no matter what your opinions or views are. You might walk around and learn a little bit of knowledge that you didn't know, or you may have had a misunderstanding or not clarity of. So I just encourage you, come here, read and know the history, feel the powerful presence, and don't turn a blind eye. These people gave all. So Melinda was talking to the security guards there at the gate, which are Filipinos, and he tells Melinda that his longtime dear friend is married to a high tower in New Mexico. It's a crazy world. I'm telling you, it's a crazy world. Signs, signs, everywhere there's signs.